Hindi po ata pantay. Why sa MNLF, 45,000 lamang allocated for its surrenderies. MILF, 100,000. MNLF, 45,000. Yeah, as a follow-up question to that,
Before that, Senator Tulfo would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bato de la Rosa.
at NBI, para kung halimbawa nagkaroon ng operations, yung...
Senator Tulfo?
Yes, my first question, Secretary Galvez or anybody from your office can answer this. 100,000 pesos each were given to MILF surrenderies. Hindi po ata pantay. Why sa MNLF, 45,000 lamang allocated for its surrenderies. Bakit magkaiba po? Sa MILF, 100,000. MNLF, 45,000.
Sir, actually, sir, yung ano sir natin, no, yung sa 100,000, sa MILF, dahil kasi mayroon ko silang decommissioning. Yung, ano, yung sa MNLF po, sir, is stenciling. Wala pa po yung talagang decommissioning because on our final peace agreement with the MNLF, wala po tayong provisions for decommissioning. So yung gagawin po natin, yung initially yung 45,000, considering na according to RA 20 of the final peace agreement, those who will not be integrated should be given tinatawag natin socio-economic package. And basically, ang gusto nga namin po, pare-pareho po yung ibigay. Ang intention po talaga natin is 100,000 din po ibigay natin sa MNLF. Initially lang na ibigay natin yun because ang ano pa lang natin is only stenciling pa po ang ginawa po natin, Your Honor.
Okay. Stenciling, Secretary.
Yes, sir. Kasi yun nga po ang ano natin. Kasi ito po yung nagiging problema po natin sa final peace agreement.
Can you please enlighten this committee what stenciling is all about?
Yung stenciling po ng firearms nila, kinukuha po ng bali po sir, nire-record po natin kasi yung part po yun, ito part po ng ano natin yan na gusto po natin ma-recover po lahat ang mga loose firearms. So isa po ito yung mga tinatawag natin na parang ating proseso para at least kukunin natin yung firearms ng ng ating brother MNLF and then stencil po natin and then we have an agreement na mayroon tinatawag tayong firearms control.
Yeah, as a follow-up question to that,
Before that, Senator Tulfo would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bato de la Rosa.
okay. Yung mga sinusurrender ng firearms, 4,000 and all, right? Yan po ba ay niregister? Meron ho ba kayong database where those firearms are registered? And I would like to follow up also dun sa request nung kausap po mga taga-military na dapat yung serial numbers, if they are logged in sa database ninyo, dapat accessible yan sa PNP at NBI para kung halimbawa nagkaroon ng operations yung mga grupong yon, they can cross-check doon sa mga na-recover nila ng mga baril versus doon po sa mga sinurrender ng mga baril. So, ito ba mga baril na sinurrender, 4,000, are they logged in sa isang database?
Sir, nandito po yung ating Vice Chair ng Independent Decommissioning Body in the person of Mr. Hovland from Norway. Sila po ang nag-ano po ng proseso.
Mr. Hovland, the firearms, the 4,000 firearms, how are they being handled once they were surrendered to the government?
Yeah.
What kind of accounting do we do?
Your Honor, we in the independent decommissioning body, we receive and decommission the firearms. We register them. We do a function test of the firearms. So all the firearms we receive are operational. And then we store them according to the agreement. We also take in the registration number of the weapon. And according to the agreement between the parties, that is to be confidential for the independent decommissioning body.
Can we have records of those firearms that were surrendered, the serial numbers, and are they stored in a database where it will be accessible to the PNP and NBI and even the military? Like I said earlier, if there's an operation conducted by these authorities and in the process they were able to recover firearms in those operations, at least they can make some cross-checking to ensure that none of those firearms they recovered during their operations came from the weapons that were surrendered from the decommissioning process.
So for now, we are bound by our mandate given to us by the two parties, the government of the Philippines and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. And in the terms of reference of the IDB, it says that all information, data, or opinions gathered, generated or exchanged in connection with the work of IDB are confidential and may not be divulged to an organization, individual, or entity. If the parties would, of course, agree that we should share that, we could be open to do so. But for now, we're bound by our mandate.
So right now, it's confidential, so you cannot divulge to us the firearms, what kind of firearms are those, the serial numbers, that's confidential? You mean the Filipino people doesn't have the right to know?
So
Sir?
yeah. So Your Honor, we in the IDB, when we finished each phase of decommissioning, we send a report to our principal, which is a two-piece panels.
I understand, sir, I understand, I know where you're coming from, I know what you're saying, but the thing is, there was more than 2 billion spent for this program. In exchange, they have to surrender their weapons. And I just want those weapons accounted for. First, where are they stored? And then second, how are they being handled? And then third, they should be in a database, like I said, for the third time, which will be accessible to everybody, especially the PNP, the NBI, the AFP, in case they need to check those database, those serial numbers of those firearms, then they can always go to that computer and look it for themselves.
So, Your Honor, I understand your question. I understand your need to do so. I really do. So we have our mandate now, and I can also answer what we do with the weapons. We store them in a secure storage area. And then according to the agreement, after the fourth phase, or when the parties agree, we will put them beyond use.
So even a video, you can show us a video or even pictures of those weapons?
So we had,
Still confidential?
no, we had two large events in Cotabato where we had display of all the firearms that we received for the phase, witnessed by.
Can you show us some videos at least or pictures? Because 4,000 is a lot of firearms, and I just want to make sure that those firearms are really well kept and being protected.
Yeah. So, Your Honor, we're very glad to submit pictures and videos, of the weapons, so you can see that.
So right now you cannot submit to us the serial numbers of those firearms. It's not stored in any database because you said it's confidential unless both parties agree to divulge those kind of information to us, to the Filipino people. Is that what you're saying, sir?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Then,
With the
Mr. Chair.
permission of
With the
Senator
permission
Tulfo.
of Senator Tulfo.
yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, with the permission of Senator Tulfo. Republic Act 10591, referred to as the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulations Act, mandates all government agencies, military and law enforcement organizations, LGUs, and corporations owned and controlled by the government provide the PNP with an inventory of all the weapons and ammunition they possess. Why is it, therefore, that the 4,625 decommissioned firearms are not included in said inventory? And as stated, you are bound by your mandates to keep these records confidential. Bakit ganon? Labag ito sa batas ng Pilipino. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga nag-surrender na MILF, hindi sakop ng batas ng ating bansa. Parang mali naman yata to. Panloloko naman yata ng bansang Pilipino to. Bakit hindi sila tatalima sa batas na ang bawat mamayan ang kinakailangan sumunod?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, can I add to the point of
Yes,
Senator
Senator
Amy?
Boto.
Mr. Chair, I don't know if there's a conflict between what is the existing law that our resource person is talking about, if it runs in conflict with the firearms comprehensive law. I don't know. We have to study on that because maybe, I'm sure, the ones who formulated this law ay talagang inobserba itong firearms, the existence of the firearms comprehensive law. Comprehensive Firearms Law. So, titingnan natin siguro, Mr. Chair, kung saan ang conflict dito.
Yes, I'd just like to follow up. Having gone through the papers submitted, ang hinahanap ko po, sinasabi ninyo yung annex for normalization. What is the written basis, the legal basis for the number of 40,000 MILF combatants and the legal basis of the 7,000 firearms? Meron bang legal basis yan? Kasi hinahanap ko rito, sabi annex. Asan yung annex? Nasa annex lang ng normalization. Yun ang sinasabi ninyo. Pero wala naman dun sa annex nakatakda yung 40 at saka 70,000. Anong basehan natin ng lahat niyan?
Madam Chair, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes. Your Honors, we have the basis, which is basically the written letter of Chair Minister Murad to President Aquino dated 2010. We can submit it
And
to you.
in the letter, it's indicated the 40,000
Yes, Your
combatants
Honor.
and the 7,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
And a mere letter is now considered law that supersedes all existing firearms and ammunition codes recognized here in the territory of the Republic of the Philippines. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
This is a mere letter, sir.
Yes,
I have
but-
never heard of a mere letter overturning our entire construct of firearms and ammunition law.
The comprehensive agreement was written 2014.
I'm aware. It went through 2014, 2015, and finally 2019.
Yes,
Pero hinahanap ko yung legal basis po ninyo. Saan ba galing yan? Kasi hanggang ngayon, ang sinasabi, wala namang listahang binibigay sa gobyerno kahit kailan nitong 40,000. Tama ba yun? Wala ba talagang listahan ng mga combatants na 40,000 na ginawa nating target?
The submission of the combatants is in a gradual.
I understand po it's in phases,
In phases.
and we are now in the third phase. That's
The fourth final phase.
the fourth and final phase, which is fully explained. Pero sino nagbigay ng listahan na yan? Kasi nagtataka ang marami, kanya-kanyang MILF. And some MILF are more equal than others. Is that true?
The list is being signed by the implementing panel of the MILF.
But these are foreigners.
No,
Certainly,
no.
they derive the information from somewhere else, locally.
The implementing panel, Your Honors, are full. They are MILF and the GPH implementing panel. It is-
Senator Tulfo, is the list of 40,000 combatants also confidential?
Your
Or
Honor,
are we privy to that list?
Your Honor, the process of the submission of the.
We're aware there is a process. I'm looking for names, sir. These are what the local officials, the local combatants, the local decommissioned officers are looking for. Nobody understands your list, sir.
We can provide the list if needed, Your Honors. It is located in our data.
Yes, in your list, do we have data
Yes, Your Honor.
explaining which base commands they belong to?
Yes, Your Honor.
They're identified,
Yes, Your Honor.
their rank, their role and purpose, and the base command to which they report. Kompleto po ba yun?
Can I refer you to the chair of the decommissioning body because they're the one who provided the validations and the verification.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, when we receive and decommission the combatant, we take in information on the combatant, as you mentioned now. We categorize some of it as not sensitive information, that will be name, address, birth of date, and so on. And then there are some information that are sensitive, we call guerrilla information. That might be the base command, rank, such information. So the first part, the non-sensitive, we transfer over to the TFDCC and DSWD, which they have. The second part, the more sensitive information, the guerrilla information, is for us to keep confidential for now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. However, the concern is that whereas around 26,000 combatants are supposedly decommissioned, the base commands have not been dismantled. Until today, the MILF continues to operate these base commands, all 6 of them. We have also spent a great deal of money, I believe, upwards of 600 million pesos on the Joint Task Forces on Camps Transformation. What exactly is going on with these camps? And why is it that with all these 26,000, wala pa rin, buo pa rin ang mga kampo ng MILF?
Your Honor, because of the pandemic, we were derailed by 3 years. That's why last
Pero nasa phase 4 na po kayo, patapos na po to.
there is a different some sort of process on the transformation of camps.
But you therefore make the admission that the MILF base camps are intact and in operation without any transformation having been undertaken. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, there is already transformation in some effect.
What exactly has been transformed? We see them exactly as they were before.
For example, in Camp Bilal, we have seen a lot of transformation.
Can you please be specific, sir?
So we have already converted the 300 hectares into some sort of a village, wherein we will.
It was a village before.
No, ma'am, it's a camp. It's a Camp Bilal.
Yes, but civilians were living in that camp. There were
Yes,
children
yes,
and
Your Honor.
mothers as well.
Yes, Your Honor. But right now,
So what was transformed? It's exactly in the same position.
in 2019, Madam, when I visited Camp Bilal, all of them are armed to teeth, meaning from the highway going to their area. Even MP Bravo, member of the Parliament Bravo, is always armed to teeth. But right now, when I come to Camp Bilal, most of them are wearing civilian, Madam, and they are very amiable. At the same time, they're
Are we
already.
now to read a change of costume as a transformation, sir? I think that is a very token and gratuitous piece of information.
Madam, during those times when we are visiting the camps, even in 2014 up to 2019, you can see a lot of firearms there. But right now, if we visited many camps, you cannot see any firearms they are brandishing. Meaning that there is already a change of mindset, wherein the normal combatants that they are holding firearms every time that they go, we never see that anymore. in those
Mr. Chair,
areas.
a follow-up question with the indulgence of Senator
Yes,
Ayman.
Senator Tulfo.
Ito po galing sa military na kausap ko last night. And maybe Mr. Hovland would like to answer this question or gusto mo mag-answer dito. Because during the last hearing, you did mention that there were combatants who surrendered, but they weren't able to surrender their firearms because they said it's personal, it's for personal use. Ngayon kung personal use yun, chinek niyo ba yung serial number to make sure na yun ay license, may LTAP?
Yung po ang next na proseso po, Your Honors, because yung ano po natin, yung decommission of the combatants, there is a separate process. So yung ano po natin, we never term them surrender. We term them decommission.
Kaya nga po sir, kasi when they came to the government
Yeah.
to get that 100,000 cash allowance, supposed to be they should be turning over their firearms. But they did not because sabi nga, meron akong baril dito, personal use ko ito. So kung personal use mo yan, dapat may permit yan. Chinek niyo ba yung mga, andun na rin lang siya hawak-hawak yung baril niya. So sana kinuha niya yung serial number, pinicturan, and then gumawa kayo ng cross-check sa ating PNP, FEO, Firearms and Explosive Office, para masiguro na yun ay lisensyado, para masiguro din na hindi magamit yun kung saan-saan mang purpose.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, yun ang proseso po natin, sir, na initially yung sa decommission of combatants is separating na yung pagka nagproseso po tayo ng decommission combatants, we gave the 100,000 for the purpose of the socio-economic, not for the purpose of turning up the firearms. Hindi po yun naman po. Ang ano po natin po is meron tayong proseso din ng decommissioning ng agreed 7,000. Yun po ang ginagawa po natin. And then later on, there is kung makikita niyo po yung sa aming ano po, yung we have still a lot of programs in parallel with with the decommissioning of firearms. Number one is yung all small arms and light weapons management. Ito po yung sinasabi natin na i-stencil po natin, isa-isa po yung lahat po na yun.
Mentioned to me yesterday, nung pumunta ko kayo sa office ko, tinanong ko what kind of firearms ang mga na-surrender. Sabi niyo po sa akin, carbine, may mga carbine, may mga garan,
M16.
M16, meron pang Thompson.
Opo.
Di ba pang CAFGO lang po yun? Alam ko yung mga MLF, they're well financed and they have modern weaponries.
Yung Thompson, sir, konti lang po talaga yun.
Thompson.
Karamihan-
So ibig sabihin may mga MLF na Thompson ang ginagamit. Ano po yung diplato?
Sir, actually, sir, kasi makita natin, 1976 po kasi yung ibang mga combatants natin.
Oh.
Those were the firearms that they are
Meron din
using.
pong carbine.
Yes, sir, ganun po.
Di ba yung carbine, panahon pa natin ng hook balahap yun. Oh, but anyway, may carbine. So siguro po, sa next hearing, give us a list of those firearms. Sabi nga ni Senator Amy, siyempre, kung ano man yung agreement meron between the decommission body and other groups, well, that should not supersede the law of the land of the Republic. So you should be wary about that. So next hearing, you should provide us with that information that Senator Amy was asking, kahit na sa executive session man lang.
Yes, sir, we will provide, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Now, dalawang question ng Senator Amy. December 31, 2022, kasi binanggit sa akin kahapon yung Commission on Audit. Sabi yung very strict ang Commission on Audit nga. Kayo talagang binabantayan. So, agad-agad nag-check po ako sa Commission on Audit. Meron pong 4.2 billion na audit suspension, and then 51.8 million disallowance. So pag sinabing disallowance, pinasosoli po. So unahin po natin dun sa disallowance. Ano po itong 51 million na pinasosoli po ng Commission Audit?
51 million po nito, sir. Na-explain na po namin to sa COA na ang remaining balance lang po is more or less 8 million.
Na-explain.
Na po yun. Kung magkasano po.
Naisoli na po.
Naisoli na po yun.
Eight
Then
na lang po.
yung 4 billion po yun, sir, is yung po yung previous pamana project po, hindi po sa amin po yung panahon namin during the previous sir.
Pero were you able to explain it properly to the Commission on Audit?
Actually, sir, we were able to expedite yung compliance with the auditor. So ito pong
So, sorry, sir. So, parang tayo mamalito. So, nasoli na yung iba dun sa 51 million mo na 51.8. Nasoli na po yung iba, yung meron pang 4 million hindi pa nasusoli.
yes, sir, meron pa po tayong proseso na
Bakit po hindi nasoli na lang ang buo?
binabayaran po ng po, sir, ng mga tinatawag nating yung mga SDOs na meron pong accountability.
Pwede po paki-explain ano po yung 51 million na pinasusoli? Bakit po pinasoli?
Ito po yung po, sir, nung previous administration po namin, sir, na kaya
Before you.
Opo, before po sa akin po yun po, sir. Actually nung po yun, 2017, 2018, 2019.
Same thing with this 4.2 billion.
Yes po. Wala pa po ako po nung po yun, 2018, 2017 po yun.
Siguro, Mr. Chair, sa next hearing, patawag natin yung...
Actually, we already, marami po na kami pong ipinasa po sa ombudsman pertaining that matter po, sir.
so meron na pong kaso.
Opo, may mga kaso
And
po.
may we know who are these people na pinahal nyo ng kaso sa ombudsman? And what happened to the
yung
case?
previous execom po at saka back member po ng
Can we get the names?
we will give it to you, Your Honor.
And then, gusto namin malaman yung status ng kaso. sa
Yes, Your
ombudsman.
Honor. Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
ongoing pa po ito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ilan po yung nakasuhan dito sa 51 million?
Bali po yung may mga seven charges po kami na naibigay sa ombudsman, and we will give you the details po, Your Honor.
Kasama ho ba dito yung pinalitan nyo na secretary?
Yung mga execom members po.
Execom lang.
Opo.
Okay. Okay. Doon po sa 4.2 billion, sabi niyo po before your term pa ito.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Sabi po dito sa record ng Commission on Audit, ito yung mga was it computer? And then yung mga pinabigay nyo sa mga non-government organization, people's organization.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ba't ho binigyan natin ng pera yung mga NGOs?
That's why during my term, we already remove all this ng mga NGOs po. So ang ginawa po namin immediately, we
Kaya
terminate.
nga po, bakit po binigyan ng pera ang mga NGOs at saka mga people's organization?
Because they're the one also implementing some of the programs sa ating
Ano pong klase mga programs po yun, sir?
Normally, sir, I will give you the details, the
Okay,
details.
kasi sir, that's
Because I'm-
4.2 billion, that's a lot of money para ipamigay po natin sa NGOs. And then, can we know ano po yung mga NGOs na yon? Can you identify to us?
We will submit the report.
Okay. At maging po yung People's Organization. Ano po itong People's Organization? First time ko lang napakinggan to. POs? What are these POs, sir?
We will find out, sir.
Yes, sir. Give us a list of the NGOs and then the POs who've been a recipient of this 4.2 billion, because this is a lot of money and this has to be accounted for. That's why you got a suspension from the Commission on Audit.
Yes, sir.
Hindi ko sana na-discover po to kung hindi yung binanggit sa akin yesterday na sabi nyo mahigpit sa inyong Commission on Audit. So, chinek po namin yung Commission on Audit and bingo, ito po yung nakita namin.
Yes, sir.
So, provide us with all these documents. So, Mr. Chair, and then siguro patawag din natin yung mga previous execoms na nakaupo para paimbestigahan natin itong 51 million and 4.2 billion.
Yes, the COMSEC is instructed to do so.
Yan na muna, Mr. Chair.
Meron pa?
Mamaya na lang muna, Mr. Chair.
Kung walang magtatanong tungkol pa rin sa baril, matapos lang yung subject ng baril, okay lang ba?
Alright.
Yes.
Okay lang ba? Para matapos lang yung subject ng baril, ano po? Dahil kasi nung last time, at nasa briefer po ninyo, you stated that the weapons not deemed functional by the IDB will not be considered as official decommissioned weapons. If that is the case, why did you consider the 4,625 surrendered firearms as official decommissioned weapons, having stated that they were already unserviceable and in rusty condition?
Madam, they are all serviceable.
So you're saying now that in fact they're all serviceable. The
That's so-
transcript indicates that you had agreed that they were unserviceable and rusty. So that is no longer the case. Is that correct?
Yes, madam. Yung lahat po na na-turnover sa IDP po, madam,
Are all serviceable.
or all serviceable. Yung mga tinatanggal po na hindi po sinasama po doon.
So
kaya po
so there is a mistake therefore in the transcript. Mr. Hobland is nodding his head as well. Maybe know the status. I think you've said something about it earlier. What is the status of the 4,625 decommissioned weapons? Since you are saying that they're still serviceable, you also mentioned that they are temporarily stored in Camp Abu Bakar.
Yes, madam.
How long have they been stored there? 5 years na po to. Bakit 5 years temporary pa rin ang storage dyan sa Camp Abu Bakar?
That's the request that we are asking for the implementing panel to immediately put for the disposal of these firearms. And we are now undergoing the process. Your
Ang bagal naman po. 5 taon, nandun pa rin temporary storage.
Yes, madam. Bali po kasi yung sa proseso po ng na napag-agrihan po kasi, madam, is we will finish first the phase 4 of the decommissioning before all the firearms will be put beyond use.
Pwede lang ipaliwanag, 3 uri ng pagsusurrender ng firearms ang binabanggit natin. Tama po ba? So unang-una, itong decommissioned firearms.
Yes, madam.
That you said were organic to the organization of the MILF. Yung ikalawang uri ng baril, ang sinasabi ninyo, andito naman ito sa Salwe. Ibig sabihin, yung Small Arms
Arms.
and Light Weapons Program.
Yes.
Ito na yung privately owned by the MILF. Ngayon, ano na nangyari dito? Kasi ang alam ko, ito yung magaganda. Ito yung maaayos at talagang matitinding mga baril.
We are still in the process of the ASAL WN through
Teka
the
muna, sabi ninyo, lahat ng privately owned irerehistro dyan sa Small Arms and Light Weapons. Kayo rin nag-report niyan. Ito yung submission ninyo. Binabase ko lang sa binigay ninyo sa amin.
Yes, madam, ang ginagawa po namin dito po sa sa Small Arms and Light Weapons, it is being localized at the province, madam.
So asan sila, saan nangyari yan? Kasi wala pa nakakabalita. Tinanong ko lahat ng mayor at governor. Walang nakakaalam.
In Basilan, we were able to register 4,500 firearms, madam.
Miski si Governor Jim nagre-reklamo sa kabagalan din ng ating decommissioning. So parang wala pa rin yung small firearms na yan. Meron na ba?
Madam, yung sa po, kaya po ngayon, we are now implementing the localized normalization implementation
Oo nga, pero
for the provincial governor to be
but as
involved.
late as November, all the governors complained eh. Di po ba? So, Yung ikatlo, so tatlong klaseng surrender ng baril yan, tama po ba? Unang-una, yung decommission proper, MILF organic guns. Ikalawa, yung mga baril at na sariling pag-aari ng mga MILF combatants, small arms and light weapons na napakalabo pa unless you are able to report to us these supposedly pilot areas. Ikatlo, yung balik baril. Tama? Lahat yan ini-implement ba sa BARM? Kasi may balik baril rin na binabanggit dito na mas mababa ang halaga at simpleng-simple lang ang proseso. Walang transitional cash grant.
Yung sa balik baril po, sa ano po yun sa ma'am, sa CPP-NPA po natin na ini-implement. Wala po sa ano. sa
So,
farm.
wala yan sa BARM.
Wala po.
Kasi nabanggit rin dito na naiiba ito sa balik baril. So walang balik baril whatsoever sa buong BARM area. Tama po ba?
It is not under po yan. Yung
Can we please clarify? Kasi yung ibang nag-surrender ng baril, ang sinabi sa kanila, balik baril lang kayo, hindi kayo kasali dito sa 100,000.
Yes po, doon po sa 40,000 na combatants, meron po tayong 7,000 na organizationally owned firearms na for the MILF. Kasi tatlo po yung category ng firearms na
Kaya nga tinatanong ko, kasi napakalabo po, pati mismo yung decommissioned combatants, baka naman na nabubukulan na yung mga yan. Dahil sinasabi sa kanila, balik baril lang kayo, hindi pa kayo kasali. O kaya yung sa small arms lang kayo, hindi pa kayo kasali. Paano ba talaga?
po sa dalawang kategory ng baril na hindi kasama po sa decommissioning. Ito po yung individually owned firearms. Ito po yung i-address po sa SALW program. Na
So inaamin po ninyo na wala pa. Etong privately owned firearms, nakakalat pa rin yan sa buong BARM kasi wala pa.
We started po yung SALW program last year po, nung last quarter, and we pilot that in Basilan po.
So nakailam na po ang na-surrender o na-rehistro?
We already have around more than 4,000 stenciled firearms for the SALW program po.
Are you able to register them under the PNP as Senator Bato and I well know?
Yes,
O
ma'am.
confidential rin yan?
The AFP and the PNP in Basilan are involved in this LNI program po.
So it's more or less looks like a regular gun registration effort. As
Yes
we
po.
know it.
Yes po. And we'll be doing that similar program in some other provinces of the BARM.
So nakaka 4,000 na kayo.
Yes po.
So you're saying may 4,600 sa decommissioned organic MILF plus another 4,000 na privately owned. Tama ba yun?
yes ma'am, sa Basilan po ma'am, nakapagano po tayo, even yung sa transformation ng MNLF, nakagawa na rin po tayo ng stenciling. So for the Basilan, considering ito ang naging pilot namin, and then we will be having sa Lanao del Norte and Lanao del Sur next. Ang naano po natin sa Basilan is more or less 4,500. Doon sa MNLF po, meron po na tayo na stencil na 1,800 na po.
O, nakangiti na si Senator Tulfo. Parang marami na tayong baril. Pwede bang mag-report kayo niyan?
Kaya nga, Senator Amy, isang follow-up question na. Ano pong guarantee may bibigyan nyo sa amin na ito mga na-surrender na firearms 4,000 something ay hindi po na-recycle? Kasi sabi nyo kasi confidential, kaya lalo ako nagdududa ngayon.
Kung sa ano po, hindi po talaga ma-recycle dahil kasi yung pong yung na-decommission po na 4,600 firearms. Nakalocate po sa mga tinatawag nating mga van, mga talagang
Pero nga po, how secured are those weapons?
they are very secured, Your Honor. Actually, it is being inspected.
Kaya nga po sa susunod na hearing, kahit kung gusto nyo confidential, executive session tayo, para makita namin
Yes,
na
yes.
talagang secured yung mga baril na yon.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why.
Maybe we can also invite your staff to be there.
And then can you start the process disregarding yung sabi may pag-uusap confidential? I'm not gonna listen to him because
Actually,
we're
sir,
talking about the law of the land, like what Senator Amy did mention. Yung pong mga baril na sinurrender, I want it put in a database
Yes,
which will be accessible to the PNP, the AFP, and then the NBI.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay? Well, no more confidentiality here. I don't want it to be confidential. Kasi meron nga binanggit Senator Amy na batas natin. So, mababaliwala po yung mandate ni Mr. Hovland at kung sino pa yung mga kasama niya, Mr. Hovland et al. Mababaliwala po yun.
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
therefore, during sa next hearing, you start giving us a list, serial numbers of those 4,000 weapons,
Yes.
4,000 or more weapons. And then I want that accessible by the, for the AFP, PNP, and NBI.
Yes, Your Honor. For your information, sir, yung pong temporary storage po nun is being guarded by the First Marine Brigade.
Okay, okay ako dyan.
First Marine Brigade.
Okay, pero again, sir, dapat yun po ay nakaregister.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Lahat yun. And then with pictures and all.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Wala pa ho ba kayo nababalitaan na yung mga baril na nandun sa loob ay
Wala po, Your Honor, kasi po talagang sir, yun, well maintained by the BMAT. Nandun rin po yung po natin yung JPST. Yung JPST po natin, yung Joint Peace and Security Teams, meron pong military doon, may PNP at saka meron pong MILF.
Okay.
Sila po ang nagbabantay po ng SASA.
isang tanong na lang. Doon po ako curious, yung Tommy gun, Thompson, Carbine, and Garand. Meron pa bang ganun baril ng mga MILF? Alam ko.
Sir, maliliit na porsyento po yung actually, sir. Maliliit na porsyento.
Kasi baka naman po yan ay kung saan lang pinulot yan para makolekta ng 100,000. And then, what guarantee do we have na yung 100,000 ay binigay natin, ibibilin ulit nilang panibagong baril? Kasi, di ba, meron silang baril. For personal use ko to, hindi ko to surrender. However, you give me 100,000 kasi kasama dun sa usapan, then what is the guarantee na yung 100,000 hindi niya bibili ng another baril, dadalawa ng baril niya?
Sir, there is a monitoring we have a body monitoring the
How can you monitor 26,000 combatants, sir?
actually, sir, meron tayong proseso, sir, na yung mga campus, sir, minomonitor natin, always visit them. Maybe
No,
we can-
monitoring the firearms, sir. What I'm saying. Kasi, di ba, marami sa kanila, mga ilan po doon sa tansya ninyo, yung bang tumanggap ng 100,000 pero hindi niya turn-over yung kanyang baril. Mga ilan po sila, dahil sinabi niya, personal use niya yun. Ilan po yun? How many are they? Approximately, more or less.
Doon po sa mga may personal po, wala po kaming record doon because we are still undergoing po yung proseso ng inventory din ng mga
Pero
personal.
dapat sir, meron na kayong record nun kasi tumanggap na sila 100,000 di ba? Every time na nabibigyan sila 100,000, may katapat dapat na baril. Kung minsan yung iba walang katapat na baril pero nag-explain nga lang na wala akong surrender na baril sapagkat meron yung baril kong ito ay for personal use. So dapat po i-register yung baril na for personal use. At yung tanong ko ang kanina, so anong guarantee doon sa meron siyang personal use niya na binigyan ng 100,000, na yung 100,000 bibili niya ng panibagong baril, so dadalawa ng baril niya, lalong dumami yung baril sa
Sir,
area.
let me clarify yung first na concern nyo, sir, regarding po doon sa mga baril. Doon po sa decommissioning ng combatants, separate po yung decommissioning ng firearms ko. So, hindi po ina-attribute yung mga baril na sinurrender in its state sa mga combatants po. On the second concern, sir, yung sa binigyan na 100,000 po, meron po kaming mga DSWD hired staff to conduct yung, sila po yung case managers, na sila po yung nag-oversee, sila po yung bumabalik doon sa mga nabigyan ng 100,000 on how they spend po yung 100,000. So meron po tayong mga hired na DSWD staff na bumabalik po doon sa mga combatants para to look for their welfare din po.
So monitor.
Yes po.
Okay. Now, doon sa mga combatants nagsabi, may baril ako, personal use ko to, hindi ko ito surrender. Kanina, hindi niyo pa nasagot sa akin, may mga LTAP po ba ito? Na-check niyo kung meron sila mga LTAP? Mga ito?
Yes, sir, kaya po meron po tayong SALW program dahil po doon sa mayroong gustong mag-register ng mga baril, ino-offer po namin yung dapat meron silang LTAP para ma-register po nila yung mga baril. So we've been doing some information campaign po doon sa mga combatants na gustong mag-apply po ng registration ng kanilang mga baril po.
Okay. So, just make sure, sir, na yung mga nabibigay na pera sa mga combatants ay hindi nila mabibili ng baril.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, sabi niyo nga mayroong monitoring.
Apo.
So, bigyan niyo kami ng records ng monitoring kung anong klaseng sistema in place. Sabi niyo from the DSWD because I don't think the DSWD is capable of doing monitoring. Samantalang wala naman sila experience pagdating sa military, pagdating sa mga combatants. And wala sila sa BARM dito, malayo sila. So I don't think that they're the ones capable of doing that monitoring that you're telling me now, sir.
Sir, doon po sa na-transfer naming pera sa DSWD, kasama po doon sa MOA, meron po kaming pera for the admin cost na nag-hire sila ng mga staff to conduct all this process po, yung pagmo-monitor sa mga
Kaya nga po,
po.
ang interested po ako, sorry sir kung para makulit na ako sa inyo, yung masiguro na yung 100,000 na naibigay sa mga combatants ay hindi nila bibilin ng baril.
Yes,
Na-
Your Honor. Opo.
Ano nga pong klaseng monitoring system meron tayo?
Sir,
At meron ho ba silang pinipirmahan na dokumento na itong 100,000 na ito, gagamitin ko to sa pangkubuhayan o bibili ako ng mga pagkain o pang tuition ng mga anak ko, etc. Meron ho bang ganun dokumentong pinipirmahan na ako ay nanunumpa na hindi ko ibibili ito ng baril, hindi ako bibili ng granada, etc.
Sir, yung sa ano sir natin sir, nakikita po namin sir yung yung sa lahat ng namin na mga combatants. We saw that there is a great transformation sa mga combatants. And ang ano namin sir ngayon, kaya nga parang ginawa po namin para mas matalagang holistic yung ma-address yung ano nga ng mga governors, yung monitoring. Ang ginawa po namin, in-involve namin po sila, pati po yung security sector, yung AP tsaka police. That's why yung sa LNI po, yung localization o normalization, nakausap naman na po si Gov. Bombit at saka po yung administrator ng Lanao del Norte. Yun po ang gagawin po natin na talagang holistic na po yung pagtingin natin po natin dun sa mga
Wala po silang pinipirman dokumento na nanunumpa na hindi nila bibilhin ng baril o kung anumang klaseng armas.
maybe have the Yusek Tanhusay from the DSWD.
Magandang umaga po. Paumanhin ang pinapaabot ni Secretary Gatchalian. Nais po niyang dumalos ngayong umaga, subalit siya po ay pinatawag sa cabinet meeting ngayong umaga. Ang papel po ng DSWD ay kami po ang kumbaga ay paymaster sa mga decommissioned combatant. Matapos po sila ma-verify, ma-identify kung sino yung mga beneficiaryo, matapos po ng proseso ng IDB, dadaan po sila sa proseso ng DSWD. Doon po sa proseso ng DSWD, kinukunan po namin sila ng kanilang biometrics, kinukunan po sila ng picture para yun ang gagawing ID at re-record po namin sa aming braid system. Pero bago po makareceive ng actual cash, meron pong counseling na bahagi bago makatanggap ng 100,000. At doon, pinapayuhan ko namin yung mga combatants kung paano gagasusin ang 100,000 pesos na ito. At pagkatapos po ng makatanggap ng cash assistance, ay later on, ay iboboritor nga ho namin sila sa kanilang mga probinsya, municipality kung nasaan sila. Pero very limited po yung capacity ng DSWD to monitor them.
Yung nga po sinasabi ko, sorry sir, pero wala kayong capability at saka wala kayong experience and you don't have that kind of expertise to monitor combatants to make sure na sila po yung nagbagong buhay na out of that 100,000 na binigay sa kanila, yan ay gagamitin sa maayos at hindi po sa hindi magandang paraan. So, ikaw na mismo nag-amin. So, wala ho ba kayo nakitang documents doon na imbis na payuhan nyo siya, dapat meron silang pinipirmahan na itong 100,000 na ito, hindi ko ibibili ito ng baril, hindi ko ibibili ito ng granada, M203, etc. Dapat may ganong dokumento para kung sakali man sila naligaw ng landas ulit, meron na tayong pinanghawakan against them. Now we can even bring it to court or maybe pwede natin hingan sila ng refund dahil hindi natupad yung pangako o kumpiskahin yung binili nilang baril. Kahit na yan ay pinalisensya na nila.
Yes.
Naiintindihan niyo po ako?
Yes, sir. Naintindihan ko po.
And
Wala,
then, sige, go ahead po sir.
wala pong dokumento, Your Honor, na
Bakit po wala?
ang napagkasunduan po sa task.
Kasi malaking pera po yan, 100,000 po yan. Buti sana kung 1,000 lang.
Opo, ang naghihintay lamang po kami ng instructions kung anong ibibigay ng IDB o ng mga panels, kung ano pong ibibigay sa amin na gawin namin yun lamang po. Pero wala pong binibigay sa amin na assignment o role o dokumento na dapat itong ibibigay namin. Ang binigay lang ho sa amin tasking ng task force ay kunin ang kanilang mga personal data, ang kanilang ID at papipirmahin po namin sila ng payroll at ng acknowledgement receipt na nagpapatunay na yung 100,000 ay natanggap na nila.
So it is not within your mandate to monitor kung talagang sila ay nagbalik loob, kung talagang saan nila ginastos yung pera na binigay ng DSWD. You're just orienting them?
Yes, sir. Orienting them kasi unang-una, wala po kaming capacity. Wala pa po kaming module to that effect. na particular po sa mga MILF combatants po natin. Kasalukuyan pa po namin dinedevelop ang module to monitoring. Ikalawa, wala po kami budget sa GAA. Sa DSWD kami po ay nagre-request pa sa UPAPRO para po makapag-hire kami ng mga monitoring, mga social workers at mga project development officers po natin to do the monitoring.
Ay, si Senator Amy nagde-defend ng budget ng DSWD. Umingi ka dito.
Bago lang po, Your Honor, yung aming module na dinedevelop at hindi na po kami nakaabot nung budget proposal period. Pero sa 2025, balak po namin ipasok po yan sa budget ng DSWD para makapag-develop po kami ng case management module para sa kanila.
At isa pang problema yan dahil sa pagtatag ng BARM, nagsariling mga department sila. So yung DSWD, maliban sa iilang continuing programs na nakatakda doon, talagang wala na silang presence sa BARM. Yun ang problema pati. Wala silang kaalam-alam, wala silang kakayahan, walang karanasan dito sa di-debrief ng mga former warriors and combatants at wala rin silang kakayahan na mag-monitor pagkat wala na silang presence dun eh. May sarili na yung BARM.